Did it ask you to record?
It just let us know that you were recording. So
Okay,
it should be
okay.
fine.
So I'm going to go through the schedule to give you a better sense of what's going on. I want to preface by saying that the way that this mission is being planned, there are a lot of things that affect each other. So although we've contacted the places that we're going, one small change, for example, weather, right? And I posted this on the group itself, can change around our whole trip. So if it's raining, for example, on Tuesday, we're supposed to be going to a farm, but if it's raining, then we may end up switching that to a different day. But if it's supposed to be raining the entire time, then we may just replace that whole activity. So just please bear in mind that there's a little bit of like flexibility that I think has to apply. But we'll start from the top. Before I begin, no, I'll take questions at the end, I think that probably makes the most sense. Okay, so we are coming in and beginning the program sometime probably around, I would say 7 p.m. I was waiting to hear what people's flight information is. Again, if you are right now participating in this Zoom, please make sure that you're part of the WhatsApp group where I've been posting important information. And that is the place where I will also post an official registration form, which will ask you all sorts of questions, including if you have any allergies or dietary issues. And we'll go through, the actual schedule itself, but please make sure you're also there. So around 7 p.m., we will be having a minibus taking us from Matan to the Kotel. We will be davening there, and then we will be going upstairs and eating a light dinner and meeting Rabbanit Bina in her home. And just as a welcome. I'm aware I'm in touch with some of you that there are some people whose flights are getting in a little bit later. I've been in touch with you on a one-on-one basis. Again, I need to know when everyone's flights are coming in. So please, you can private message me. Okay, on Monday, we're waking up. And I wrote some of the locations. Again, there's no official times here yet because you will get do not worry, before this trip, you will have an exact detailed time, everything. But until certain people are confirming, I don't want to write a time and then renege on that time. So we do know that on Monday morning, we're going to begin 9 a.m. You'll be meeting us. We're not going to provide a bus for this because all of you will be housed or are finding housing in central Yerushalayim. So basically, we're working on trying to house everybody together. And I'm speaking specifically about people who are coming from Chutz La'aretz. If you live in Israel, we are not housing you. But if you live in Chutz La'aretz, we're making an effort to be able to house you in one location. That being said, until I have a final answer, what I'm telling people is it's a good idea to try to find a backup plan. Maybe it's a cousin or a friend in central Yerushalayim that you have a place to stay one way or another, but I'll know in the next day or two the definitive plans about housing.
As a matter of fact, Ariel, I'm so sorry for interrupting. Can we just get a sense from all of you if you prefer to stay by people that you're familiar with? Or when we're speaking about housing, we don't want this to be an extra expense for you. And most of the hotels are already populated with mefunim, with evacuees from the south. So it would mean staying probably in more of a dorm-like or youth hostel setting. So we wanted to know if you lechatchila would prefer to stay by friends and family, or if you lechatchila would want to pay, a little extra to all stay together, which would mean, as Ariella said, that by having you all in a concentrated place, we can probably maximize time-wise, but we do understand if you prefer to stay by family. If so, it would have to be in Yerushalayim and as close to central Yerushalayim, meaning Hatamon, Rehavia, what we call Merkaz Ha'ir, as much as possible. So if you can put in the chat so that Ariella can see how many, meaning which of you are ambivalent and which ones prefer to stay by friends and family, and which ones prefer to stay all together in like a midrasha type setting.
You know what I'm going to do? I'll add that as one of the questions on the Google form that I created. And then this way we'll have an answer right away. Just by a raise of hands, I'm going to try to see if I can see all of you at the same time, and I can't. But how many of you are for sure coming? Meaning, I know there's a bunch of you that live in Israel right now. You could raise your hand physically or digitally. Okay, there's a lot. I think there's still a lot of maybes. So our goal is that by Tuesday, we have our final numbers in. So if you're someone who's looking for flights or you are trying to work out kind of, with your work, please let us know by Tuesday so that we can plan accordingly. It can be the middle of the day Tuesday, it could be the end of the day Tuesday, but on Tuesday, that is our deadline if possible. Obviously, if there's extenuating circumstances, you could be in touch with me privately. Okay. So we're going to wake up. We are volunteering. We are actually trying to, as many of you know, there are many, many, many thousands and thousands of displaced families that have been put up, as Shani said, in hotels and apartments all over Yerushalayim. But specifically with the hotels, we're trying to find something that we can do that will be helpful and organized enough that our contribution will make a difference. There have been many people in Yerushalayim sort of showing up at a hotel. Sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's really like that's not what we need, whatever they were intending on doing. So we are in the process of organizing ourselves to see that what we can offer them is something that they will benefit from, and vice versa. But that is the plan in the morning, and also to volunteer at a chamal, which is basically a place where they are organizing all sorts of things also to help these displaced families, including things like sorting through donated clothing. Families all around the country have been donating clothes and supplies in order to help these families. And so that morning, we're going to be really spending helping that's why I wrote for causes related to displaced families. Again, unclear if we are doing things for them or if we are interacting directly. We'll know we'll know by tomorrow. And then my home is located right near the Chamal. It's actually a block or two away. So I'm going to have everybody at my home. And at my home, we're going to have lunch, and we are making care packages for the Chayalot. So because this is a woman's mission, we felt so strongly that women really thinking and being there for other women is such a powerful statement. And so many of the YouTube clips, you see so many of the men and they're dancing and there's concerts, but we really wanted to focus a lot of our attention on the women. And so we are going to be giving those packages out on, if you look over here, on Tuesday, after we finish the chaklaut, the volunteering on the farm, we will be visiting an army base and delivering some of those packages then. Which brings me to a point that I will address in a moment from now, which is we need your help in terms of bringing over, for those people coming from Chutz La'aretz, bringing over the supplies that are going to be going into these care packages. And I'll show you what we intend on putting into them. Everything we're intending on putting them weighs almost nothing, but we're going to put, we have everything from like Neutrogena, wipes to face masks to nice lotions and soaps, and really trying to make these women who are actively serving feel like a little bit taken care of, even while they're out there helping to protect our country. And we'll get to how you're going to do that at the very end. So then after we finish making these care packages, we're going to be taking an armored minibus, or actually it's an armored bus, we're going to stop in Kever Rachel for Mincha, and Shani will be with us at that point. And then we will continue onward again on the armored bus to Gush Etzion. We're going to be doing Hafrat Shachala. We're making focaccias, and we are going to be giving out those focaccias to the local soldiers in Gush Etzion. We're going to hear from Devorah Katz. Is Devorah on right now? Okay. Who is running a whole bunch of projects in Gush. and we will hear from her. And then after we finish handing out the focaccias, we're going to have a late dinner and head back to Yerushalayim. And then in the evening, there's an optional, again, this is not for everyone, but the bus will be dropping us off by the like Malcha area. It really is going to be the Pais Arena. And there are people who are donating blood. And you have the option, if you want to donate blood, great. If not, you can head over to the Malcha Mall if you wanted to eat something or you wanted to purchase anything. And that's the end of day.
Just to let you know that the Malcha Mall has been closing very early, so it might not be open by the time they get back.
So I will definitely double check that as it's closer. Also, the times of the blood donation, it is open till 9 as of now. But again, that is something that, because it's shifting, like I said, because we're in the middle of a war, we'll know the exact times when it's like, a couple days before. Okay, Tuesday is a pretty intense day. We are going to be leaving Yerushalayim at 6 or 6:15. That's the reason, it's one of the main reasons why we really wanted you to be staying in central Yerushalayim, because if you're not staying in central Yerushalayim, you're going to be waking up at a ungodly hour to get yourself over to central Yerushalayim. We're asking you to please bring water and a sandwich for lunch. In general, unless, like, I just want to go back for 1 second. So on Monday, for example, lunch and dinner are taken care of. On Tuesday, lunch and dinner are not taken care of. So you're going to bring water and a sandwich with you. At my home the day before, I will gladly get extra bagels and things like that and dips and, whatever you need. And we'll have tinfoil in case you want to take it with you, or I can keep it at my home and bring it. That way you can, have your sandwiches, but definitely you'll be bringing water. And we are going to be volunteering on a farm for a bunch of hours from 8 a.m., which is when we anticipate being there, until about 1:30 p.m. Please make sure that you are bringing, obviously, clothing that you are comfortable in, and sneakers and a hat. And I put that all on the packing list, which I posted on the WhatsApp group. Okay, after the farm, we're heading over to an army base where, I don't know if anybody here has ever heard of DJ Panina. She's awesome and she's really great. And we're going to be we're handing out the care packages. And then also we're going to be having like a musical kumzitz and really, creating a presence at the army base. And then we are heading back to Yerushalayim around 4:30. And then it takes about an hour and a half to get back. So by the time we get back, it's going to be dinner time. And you will be buying your own dinner on Emek Rafaim. The bus will drop us off there. And then after your dinner, we have a program at Eretz Chemda, which is actually really nearby. I can send you all at that point directions. It's quite close. And there's a program from 8:30 to 10 at Eretz Chemda. The last day of the program, we actually kept the morning open on purpose. There are many educators who have former students and people that they know that are currently in Israel for the year, family perhaps. So the morning is optional, but there is an optional learning at Matan. Wednesday mornings in Matan, there are shiurim that take place. And starting at 12:30, you're being served a light lunch. And at 1 o'clock, we're going to be hearing from Rabbanit Shani. We're going to be making tzitzis. We have a guest speaker, Rav Rafi Peretz, who will be speaking Bezrat Hashem. And then the program should be over. The closing is between, let's say, 3 and 4, and the program is over at 4 p.m. And that is basically the overall schedule. Now, obviously, you will get a much more refined version of this in 3 or 4 days, but that's basically the idea. So before we go on, let me stop my screen share. Are there any questions?
Hi, I'm sorry I came about 5 minutes late, so it's possible you addressed this in the
Sure.
first 5 minutes. But I have two questions. The first is, can you speak in greater detail about the overnight accommodations, like what that looks like and how that's going to play out? Where is it? And the second question is that my husband will be on a different solidarity mission, also happening. He's actually leaving tomorrow, but he will also be here all of next week. So is it possible for him to join any of the Matan activities? And if the sleeping accommodations, I have no idea if it's even possible, but could the sleeping accommodations also include my husband being there or not? I mean, because I'm just curious to hear about what that would look
Okay,
like.
so Shahada, I'm gonna have you and I discuss it. We already addressed it at the beginning, but I'll be happy to also, it
Great.
also seems like a very like a specific situation.
Yeah, sure,
going on.
sure. Yeah,
So
sure.
we'll definitely address that with you afterwards, but great question. Chava,
Yeah, hi. Thanks so much for everything. You must be really working hard on this. I just wanted to ask you if you can tell us where you think that you're going to be meeting in Jerusalem, because I could stay with a friend, I could stay with my sister, and I could stay whatever. I want to stay in the place that's best for me to get to the meeting point. If you know once you know where it is, you know.
do you mean meaning the reason why we say Merkaz Ha'ir is because you're very, very close by. If there is no central housing, let's say we are able to get, like we were looking into possibly a dorm where some of the seminary students left and we have free rooms, but the problem is a lot of those dorms gave their rooms to displaced families. So that's been the challenge until now. If there is a central place, then that's where the bus will go, right? So meaning that's where their drop off, that's where the pickup will be. If not, then everything will be straight from Matan.
Thanks very much.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Nishama.
For example, I'll just say one of the places that we're looking into is the Amit Midrasha, which works with that.
Shani, I think we lost you.
So we will be involved in Chesed there. Okay.
Okay, go
Sorry
ahead. Yeah.
about that. Sorry. So one of the places is the Merkaz Yom LaYeled of Amit, which is in the Gilo area. So if that's where we end up staying, then that's where we're going to leave from and going to ask everyone to come to Gilo. If everyone prefers to stay by different people, then as Ariella said, then the buses will always leave from Matan. So to think of a place closer to Matan. So we're going to wait to see what your requests are and base it on that.
So Matan is located, for those people who are not from Yerushalayim, it's located in Katamonim. So Katamon is close. Even like Baka, the German colony, is close. Also, Rehavia, all these places are pretty close, but Katamon's the closest. Nishama.
Okay, I just took myself off of mute. Hi, I have a million things. I'll send you that privately, but one that I think is like for everyone, to the extent that we have other girlfriends or women or people that live in Israel that would want to join that aren't in the Eshkolot family yet. What are your thoughts and feelings? Like my mom, let's say, or like my sister, you know, whatever, like something like that.
We definitely are planning on opening up parts of the program to other people as well. But probably not everything, only because some of the pieces that we're involved with, may not be able to contain a big giant group. But definitely contact me again individually, and we can definitely try to accommodate. If I see it's getting out of control, then I'll say, okay, only for this, at X, Y, and Z. But we're definitely going to open up probably the day with the Chaklaut and the farming and the army base, depending on how many people we get the permission to enter the army base. We probably are going to open up that day to other people as well. And then, of course, Nishama, on a case-by-case basis, you're welcome to message me privately. I'm happy to discuss with you. Sure. Lisi, what's going on?
Hi, Ariella. For those of us who think we can make our own housing arrangements, can you just talk about, like, are buses running? Like, should we assume that we're going to just take taxis? Like, if we're not even if I'm, if I'm staying in central Jerusalem, but I'm getting to Matan and I didn't leave myself on 6 a.m., like enough time to walk to Matan, then like, are buses running, or should we just assume we're taking
Yeah.
taxis?
No, buses are running. The light rail actually, is it back to being run? Yeah, the light rail's back. I think everything's running. The people that live here, I'm in my car doing carpool all day long.
Everything's running.
I think it's normal. My kids are on the buses all day long.
No,
But-
center, Yerushalayim, excuse me, hi, it's Chai, I'm just driving. Just
Yeah.
1 second, I'm going back to Neshama. I think that Negosh, as we say in Hebrew, will put in the program the 2-3 things that we think will be open to the entire Matan family. By Tuesday, when we finalize the schedule, we'll try to have that out also. I think for the group we still would like to keep 2-3 things that are just for the group, and
Yeah.
to make a group, Avila and all that. To the last question, this question, Yerushalayim is what's called yellow, green. I don't remember the colors. Green. My kids are saying green. Everything is open and it's safe here. And to the Chaklaut Farming Day, I think most probably we will not be allowed to bring a big group of women into a base. But for the farming, the more the better, the more the merrier. So that day we'll probably have to order a bus back from the farming and a bus to the base. So we could figure that. We'll figure it out once we have the numbers more secure.
Correct.
Sorry. I'll put myself back on mute.
Okay. Rena, you were going to add something as well.
I was just going to add in that in Yerushalayim, buses are running, but some of them are, I think some of them are still a little bit delayed. Like, I don't know if it's fully back to full schedule. So like, just add in a little bit more time when you're traveling on the bus, but
Yeah.
everything is running.
I would also say in terms of getting to our bus by 6:15 in the morning, you probably are going to have to cab or, yeah, I don't know what you're going to do in terms of busing. Okay. Anybody else?
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm in Israel. I don't know how many of the Israeli Eshkolot women are going to be coming, but I suggest that you make like a Google Docs where we sign up for the individual half days or activities and stuff, because I can maybe join one day, but I definitely can't do the whole week. But thank you so much.
No problem. So the only thing is that's why I'm going to, you know what I'm going to see if I can do? I'm going to cut and paste. Does it make sense to cut and paste it into the chat? If I put a link in the chat to the WhatsApp group, will you guys be able to click on it?
I'm in the WhatsApp group already. So
is anybody here not in the WhatsApp group? Okay, so you will be getting an official registration form. It's actually a Google form, and one part of it is just for Israelis only, right? And it literally is the schedule divided into different lines and times, and you will literally click which pieces you are joining us for. But the only thing is that only fill that out once you really know, so that we're not sitting around waiting, doing attendance and waiting on a bus for you.
Perfect. Thanks so much. Looking forward.
Are there any other questions? I wanted to add in something incredibly important. Okay, I want to get to the piece about the shopping situation. We are making care packages for these chayalot. Each care package is about $24. Okay, we're giving them a really cute case, and inside we're putting in all these different things. I will show you the list. I think I posted it on the WhatsApp group. Is that possible? Did I post it yet? No? Okay, I will post it there. Basically, what that means is I believe there are about 6 women here. There's 6 women coming from Chutz La'aretz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now, and possibly 6 and even up to 7. What we wanted to do, but we really want to hear from you if you think this is possible, is basically to have you help us fundraise. Like, it would be probably around $400 for each of you to help pay for these care packages for the chayalot. And they're nice care packages. We could have done, like gross, nasty, but like, that's not the point. So we did look for the lowest price for everything. And then basically I'm going to post it on the WhatsApp group. It's it looks like a shopping list. It basically looks like a gift registry. You know, when you have a gift registry, it says needs, and then you say, oh, I'm filling in this. Okay, so basically that's what we're going to be doing, except I think what I'd like to do is assign each of you to purchase a specific product. And that way we're not left with like 4 million of these, you know, shampoos or whatever, and then nothing else. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to hear from you if you felt like that was something that's doable. Is it too high of a goal? Atara, yeah.
I don't think the fundraising is going to be an issue, at least here. I mean, I'm sure if I like get word out to enough people that we're going, that I think $400 is not an unattainable goal. My question is in terms of like bringing the stuff into the country, because I know there's been all of this like back and forth of customs and stuff and everything coming in. So is there going to be any issue if like a duffel bag is filled with, you know, 100 packets of shampoo or something? Like, I don't know. Is that like, I know for you guys been supposed to, what?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think so. These are not, you're not selling them. It's not, you know, and I think people know that people are bringing in for the Chayalim.
Okay. I just know that my
Yes.
husband's supposed to be going on a
Atara.
rescue mission the
The
next
issue
week.
was,
Yeah.
a couple months ago, there were people bringing in fruit roll-ups. I don't know if you know about the
No,
fruit
I know
roll-up
that crazy thing with the
situation.
ice cream.
The problem
Yeah.
is that we're selling it. We're not
Okay.
selling anything. So I don't
Okay.
think it should be an issue. Again, like I wish there was a way I could, you know, triple check, but
Right. So if I can just say, so I looked into this with Rav Rimon, who's very much tries to face this. Firstly, they're still giving a little bit of a hard time with electronics unless it's very obvious that it's for the war effort. They said the best thing is, for example, Sulamot is actually, they commissioned a letter that they send that says explicitly there are 250, you know, headlights here, and therefore, so what we'll do just to be 100% lifnet, you know, lifnim
letter.
mishra sabin, is we're going to write a letter from Matan
Great,
stating
perfect.
exactly what you're bringing in and why you're bringing it in, and we'll forward it to each and every one of you so you can show it to the customs official.
Okay, perfect. Because I know with the RC mission, like there's some letter from the government, that you could bring in your stuff or whatever.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Okay. So just by a raise of hands or I guess you can nod because I can see all of you at the same time, but do you think that that's doable in terms of that we can continue on with this project? Okay. I also want to say right now we're planning on making 100 of these. Obviously that goes without saying that if you can fundraise more, we can buy more. So anyway, what you'll do is the initial cost, you will have to shell out of your own pocket. But if you're fundraising and you have your own Venmo or whatever, so hopefully that will be paying you back directly. If anyone's left in a situation where they weren't able to fundraise, please let me know. I'm sure on the Matan end will not have an issue at all raising this money.
Well,
yeah, go ahead, Robin.
Yeah, we'll cover it.
So exactly. So just please be in contact with us. So that piece, I will post tonight what the products are and the list. And then if it's okay with each of you, I'm only going to be able to confirm with people who've already booked their tickets, the items which they are going to be purchasing. But please let me know just as soon as you have booked your tickets. And again, if possible, please do so by Tuesday. Even at the end of Tuesday is fine, but just Tuesday. Are there any other questions or things that I'm not thinking of, or somebody thinks that we should be addressing something?
What is the Eretz Chemda program about?
Shani, do you want to explain?
That's still, we're still finalizing that.
Yeah. Well, Shani, yeah. I mean, you can ask Shani. She's working. That's the piece that she's also working on.
Sorry, what was that? Sorry, I didn't hear it 100%.
The question about the Eretz Chemda program, what specifically are we planning on having?
Yes. So we're also going to be helping either with packaging, meaning the Eretz Chemda has been one of the leading tools involved with logistics. So we'll be helping there and also hearing what's been done and what can be done, especially once you go back to Chutz La'aretz. So we'll fill in on all the details, but that's the big picture.
Somebody just volunteered to maybe help us with lunch on Tuesday also. It could be you're not going to have to bring lunch on Tuesday. Okay. We'll update you as it comes. Somebody else raised their hand a minute ago. Go ahead, Batya.
Sorry, just I don't know if this was already covered, but originally when the program was proposed, we were told that maybe we'd be giving shir in different places. Is there anything that we can prepare on our end to bring just in terms of shirim, or if we're volunteering in schools or anything? I know it's not mentioned in the schedule, just wondering.
We were debating it honestly back and forth, and it's just that ultimately we came to the conclusion that it doesn't benefit students to have like a one and done situation, and there's such a lack of continuity as it is already that sort of introducing people like didn't really make sense for them. So we're not going to be having that as part of our program. Atara.
Okay, just two things, but of course my mind's like not working right now. Just I didn't see anything on the schedule, and it's okay if not. I'm just wondering, like, are we planning on maybe doing any like hospital or shiva? I mean, hopefully there'll be no more shiva houses by the time we get there, Bezrat Hashem. But if there is, or something like that, like, are there any plans to do something like that, or we're just mostly like focusing on just action of chesed and stuff like nichol?
So that's one of the reasons why we kept one morning free, to really allow you to do what you want. I will tell you, and other people, please speak up. During Tzuk Eitan, I went to the hospital and it was amazing. We delivered cookies. We went from room to room, and for people who were extremely injured, it was very hard for them to have visitors. And yeah, so
I would say I understand that part more, I guess, like for the families of people who are either,
I can tell you what I did with my kids a few weeks ago. Wow, 3 weeks ago, is that we asked in my yeshiva, people brought me biscuits and cakes, and we went to Tel HaShomer and we took to the nurses and the doctors.
That's beautiful.
And it was really, they really appreciated it because they're not getting stuff. And then we hang out outside with like soldiers and stuff that we were talking to, like, and it was a little bit traumatic for my youngest son, but it was really it was a really nice idea.
That's a beautiful, beautiful idea. So what I would say is either amongst yourselves, you can definitely do that. At this point, we're not organizing that. Again, as things shift, we'll know finally. But it's a great idea.
And then just the other question I realized, and I'm sorry if this sounds like so chutz la'aretzi, but like, is travel out of Yerushalayim, like, is in terms of like, going places out of Yerushalayim, if we're going to be there before for Shabbos, like, is it considered safe? Is it people still traveling all over, like doing things? I mean, obviously not down south or really up north, but like to the regular.
Sure. I mean, I've been traveling places. Yeah, I mean, I've been traveling to Ra'anana, I travel to Modi'in, I travel to Herzliya. What I will say, it's all safe. You know what, Rabbanit, I'm going to let you answer this one because I think it depends on who you're asking.
Look, I'll just tell you from personal experience. In Yerushalayim, there were only 2 or 3 alarms. Of course, one of them was when I was at a funeral, and all the young men quickly lie down flat on the ground. We'll explain what has to be done. And the same thing if in traveling, the car stops and you get flat on the ground. It rarely happens, happening less and less, Baruch Hashem, on the road to Tel Aviv. And no one's really been injured. And even when there is some kind of a missile, it's usually outlying.
We're not going. Hold on.
No, I'm not even worried about on the trip. I'm just saying, like, in terms of when we get to the like getting from the airport to wherever we need to go to, or for Shabbos.
There. So we do it. We think you'll do it. We think it's safe. We would do it with our children.
Okay. I'm saying, I know like the public transportation, all that stuff is like running and working and all that.
Yeah, I will say. Go ahead, Ravani.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, precautions, you see what's happening the day before, that morning, if all of a sudden there are 27 missiles being fired in the Tel Aviv area, obviously, we may want to change plans, but it's been less and less. Halavayit continues, with Bechasdei Hashem, yeah.
I will say, listen, we are women, and I tell this to my own daughter and my friends, but it's not a typical time. Like I wouldn't say go out at night and walk the streets and alone. You know, maybe if you're not alone, that's okay. But you know, I'm part of a WhatsApp group from Iriat Yerushalayim, and things, you know, you have to be aware. So nighttime and alone, not so much. Other than that, we're not planning on taking you anywhere where there's really a security threat. We're not taking you down south. We're, you know, all, near with the shet, you know, where everything's happening. Yeah. I hope that answers your question a little bit.
Can I jump on that for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
Do we know which farm, like location wise, and where the army base is approximately, just geographically?
We're in touch with 2 different farmers, both of whom are graciously, like, they're so happy to have volunteers. We're waiting on an issue from the army base, one specific army base, but if not, then another one, and that's going to affect which farm we're going to. So I don't have my final answer for you, but I hope by Tuesday that I will.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Ariella, just one thing for the care packages, and I know many of you are teachers at schools back in the States. If your students or families in your communities want to write notes, those are, you know, I know for my daughter and my nephews that are in the army, they love receiving your notes, reading them. My nephew told me, who's now down in Gaza, he said, we take all the notes, we hang them up on our tent. I've seen videos of like soldiers read the notes on their buses on the way back from or to different drills that they have. The notes are very heartwarming and go a long way. I don't know if I don't know if we discussed this or not.
No.
Oh, good.
We said one other piece is just if you could have your, you know, if you do teach and you want to involve your class, definitely encourage them to write notes if they can. Obviously, it would be better even in broken Hebrew, just to sort of make sure that whoever's receiving them understands what they're saying. Whether your students are in high school, by the way, even if you don't have students, if you're in a, you know, a work environment, or you have children in your own home, or definitely the more notes, the better. Every single care package that we deliver, we want to stick notes inside of. So please definitely, you know, contribute in that way as well. And that's basically it. I'm going to, I just need a little bit more time. In about 15 minutes or so, I'll try to post that shopping list, and then I'll be in touch with those individuals who've already booked their ticket in terms of assigning them what they're going to be bringing. And then please, the rest of you, let me know by Tuesday so I can make sure to assign it to you so that we can quickly get those items, you know, Amazon Prime to you quickly so that they'll be ready for the plane. And that's it.
Also,
And
Ariella, if maybe there could be like a uniform text of like to fundraise for it, you know, of just like what the mission is and what we're doing, and then we could post those on the different, you know, community groups and stuff that we're on.
That's a great idea, to come up with some language. I'll do that as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
I'll post those together then, no problem.
Perfect. Thank you.
And then in terms of like a link for a Venmo, then you can use your own personal Venmo or whatever it is, and then get
Or
reimbursed.
they could also Zelle it to Matan if that's easy.
Yeah, that's a great idea too.
Because
Oh,
Matan has a Zelle account for the Americans, and for the Israelis here, we do BIT as well.
But they should just make the note if they do the Zelle for Matan,
Who
right?
it's from.
It's for the mission, the women's mission.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say one thing. I don't know what was said before, but I think this is a modern day Benot Slafrad, because you know, we saw so many men coming, not that many, but Rabbanim and here coming, and you want your Chelek and Nachala also in Eretz Yisrael, and in this time that we need Chizuk. So this is, I think you can see yourselves as the modern Benot Slafrad. Everyone coming from Chutz La'aretz, it's a big bracha, and those in Israel will have the zchut to join, and Bezrat Hashem, right, we'll be able to do and give and be mechazek Am Yisrael.
As the mother of a Tirtza, I appreciate that.
Thank you, Rabbanit. So beautiful. Thank you. And if any of you have any other questions, I'm happy to stay on. The rest of you have a Yom Tov, a Laila Tov. If you want to, you know, WhatsApp me privately, or if there's a question that came up that is something private, you know, you can definitely WhatsApp me, and we'll talk separately.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm looking forward. I think we all are.
Ariella, I just wanted to ask, in terms of the collection that we're going to be doing, I find that like some people would rather purchase an item. So like once, like if I'm assigned the Neutrogena wipes, if I posted
You're
like
gonna
an
see it's
Amazon
like
link,
$7.99. You're gonna know the cost of your individual item.
okay, so then meaning like I can technically send out the Amazon link to that item if like my neighborhood people would rather, you know, deliver the wipes to me,
I think
or
so.
or
I'm
you
gonna
want to
test
order,
it.
or you want to order everything.
The only thing, my only concern that came up right before it is that when you do a registry, don't they all get shipped to the same location?
Yes, I think they do, and I think they might. But I'm wondering, like, even if you set the registry, but if I like send the link
That
just to the
link, yeah,
item,
totally.
not for the registry, but just to that specific item, and then tell people like this is
Yes.
what we're collecting. Because sometimes people will even just have it then, you know, either delivered to their house, or if it's an item that's at Target and they're there and they pick up 1 or 2 packages and then drop it by our houses, then
So
like,
I have both. I have the individual link and then I have a link
okay,
that's as part of a registry. They're all the same cost. It's the same item. It's the same seller.
right. I
So yeah,
think some
you can
people, I think some
definitely market
people
it
just
that way.
like the idea of like buying and like instead of fundraising towards an item, like actually like picking up that item and dropping it off. Some, I don't know. Thanks, Rachel. I think for some people it feels like a little more like, oh, like I bought this thing for soldiers. I don't know why it's different than spending the same $7.99, but I think it's an idea like they can take their kids, they can buy the item together and then bring it to my house, and then it feels like more we feel so disconnected. So I think like the connection
The
piece
only thing I'll
here for someone
say-
to feel like they're doing something.
I agree with you. The only thing I would say is twofold. One is just make sure that they deliver it to you on time, right?
Yes.
Depending on the right information, like you're like, oops.
Right.
And the other thing is just that the case that we got can fit a certain amount of things. So for example, we're getting these Neutrogena wipes, they're like individuals, and it's a very thin package. If someone gets the really thick package, the 500 pack,
Got it.
and they're like, oh, like it's just more for the chayalot, but
Then
like
doesn't
it won't
fit
fit
in
in
the
the right.
Okay, understood.
So, yeah.
Can I just ask something? In
Sure.
England at the moment, the government has said that you're not allowed to travel to Israel. So I've got a bit of trouble trying to find travel insurance. I'm just wondering what the Americans are doing, because maybe I can get it through an American. If anyone's got the information, they can send it to me. I'd appreciate it.
Can you
Just
say
send
travelers
information about
insurance?
what?
Yeah, I can't get travel insurance from England to Israel. I can get health insurance whilst I'm in Israel through an Israeli company. I'm just wondering if anybody in America has managed to organize that. Maybe I can do it through an American thing, because England has taken Israel off one of the countries you're allowed to visit. So because they don't let you go there, you can't, no travel insurance company is going to pay for it. I can get health insurance in Israel. I'm not worried about that part. I'm just wondering.
Also post that on the WhatsApp group, because some people had to get off early, and I think it's a really good point. It's also good to have insurance for anybody that's coming, right? It's just good thinking. Yeah, does anybody have any ideas?
Yeah, I was also going to say what Chava said. I mean that because I'm going to get travel insurance once I'm in Israel, but actually I have to double check if the one that I'm going to get is also going to cover while traveling. I can pull up what I sent to my husband. It's going to take some digging for me to find this.
Okay, so Chava
I
also
can give-
put it in the WhatsApp group as a reminder, and then if people have information, then they could post it there, I think.
Yeah, okay.
But Chava, I never usually get traveler's insurance. When I was traveling through COVID, I definitely thought about it. But sometimes, and maybe this is different in England, and I don't know if because you're not allowed to travel or they don't recommend traveling to Israel, sometimes you can get it through your credit card.
I know
And
I've
that they
got it
might
through my
back up
credit
some
card. I've got that,
purchases.
but that
Oh.
will not be activated because it will be
Oh.
considered that you're going to a country they don't let you have it, which is why I never have to think about it. But I'm going to put up the thing which you can get from Israel, which my friend gave me, which is an Israel travel insurance thing for like health. It's just like you
Right,
can get
I
health
did
insurance.
Harel when you can.
Yeah.
Rodin, are you joining us on the mission? Is that a nod? I can't hear you, but I'm assuming that you're saying yes. It's okay. You could message me if it's easier. Sounds good. Okay, so Shahadet, I will talk to you afterwards. And if anyone else has any other questions, please definitely private message me, or I'll make a time to talk to you. And I will send you as much information, that's more details just as I can. And that's basically it. Thank
Thank
you
you
all so much. Thank you. Laila Tov, everyone.
Thank you.
So Ariella, should I stay on?
Do you, sure, if you want to.
Okay, sure.
Sure.
Great. Yeah, with this info, I'm happy to stay on.
Thanks. I'll keep you posted.
Ariella?
Yeah.
Ariella, hi, sorry. I've got to go out in a minute. That's why I just want to quickly phone you, speak to you now. I just want to tell you that I don't really want to take suitcase because I'm going to leave very soon after Shabbos. And if I have to check in a suitcase, it means I have to go into the airport a whole hour later. I don't mind fundraising, or I don't mind getting less of a stipend or whatever it is. It's just that because England's not set up for
Don't
donating,
worry. No,
it's
I would
just
never,
it
I would
becomes
never
more
give you less of a stipend. No, 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 no.
no,
100%.
it becomes more of a complicated thing, but I don't
Yeah.
mind. And
Yeah.
also I don't have Zelle. I can find someone who's got Zelle, but I've got to transfer it to someone who's got an English bank account who's got Zelle. So it just becomes more complicated, but I can do it. So I don't mind doing the fundraising. That's not going to be so much problem, but I don't really want to take another suitcase.
That's fine.
I'm not taking a suitcase at all. I'm just taking a cabin roller. Then I don't
Great.
have to check in earlier.
Okay, so I made a note, and then let's see. I'm not sure that I need it. I don't know what to do about the sort of the difference between the pounds and the how. Even if you fundraise, how are you going to get that money? You know what I mean? Like, what means
I
do
do
you
have a bank account. I do have a bank account in Israel, and I think but I don't. The
But you
problem
still have to
is,
transfer it. You have to figure out where are you collecting it and how are you transferring it over to Israel, basically. So if it's too complicated, like it may not be worth it. You know what I mean? Like I might be able to. Have
that's
this
why I just
thing-
said, you could just give me less of a stipend, and I'll just,
No,
I mean, I don't care. I'll just pay for the money myself for the donation. But you know what I'm saying? It's not like, I want to do what everyone else is doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to take a suitcase because it means I have to go to the airport an hour and a half earlier, and Shabbos.
No, I understand.
It's not a lot
I
of time since Shabbos goes out.
Okay, we can be in touch if
So
you
I'm
want.
sorry about
if
that.
you want to donate that, if you want to, that's fine, and Matan can use it towards it. But we can touch base as sort of like as the days go on, and we could decide. But don't worry for it.
Thank you very, very much for all your
Thank you.
effort, and really, really appreciate it, because I know you've got plenty of things to do in your own life. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's worth it.
Yeah,
Okay.
hopefully we're looking forward. Bye.
Okay, Shahavet. Okay, so you asked me a question about your husband coming. So my answer is not going to be a satisfying answer today. What I mean is, if I'm housing all the women together, if it's in a women's dorm, he's not going to be able to stay with you. If assuming that you're staying with the group. If you're coming up with your own account, do you have anybody that you know in Central Yerushalayim at all?
I mean, I could definitely, first of all, I just want to echo what Chava said. This is truly incredible and amazing. And I'm so beyond moved and touched that you're putting this together. And really, this is mamash amazing. I mean, as for finding places to stay in Yerushalayim, I'm sure I could ask people. I know lots of people, and there's always Secret Jerusalem, whatever it is. I'm sure something can sort out.
But we also meaning the people that work in Matan. Meaning, if the answer is no, don't go random. We have friends and other people who could house you. So if you have anyone that you know, then at least let us know one,
Sure.
In terms of joining us for the activities, honestly, I need to check because I just want to run it by the powers that be.
Sure.
Because technically it's a woman's mission. And so
sure.
certain, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Certainly for farming, he can join. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Way, because I feel like they're going to appreciate that so much. But if it's okay, I'm going to press pause and just kind of consult with the powers that be and let you know. Is that okay?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. And was there a third question? I forgot.
Oh yeah. How's the travel reimbursement working?
Okay, you're going to lay out the cost and then you can send it to me. That's fine. I can submit it to the office and then we will reimburse you for only reimbursing $1,000 for people from Chutz La'aretz.
I mean, the cost of flights is crazy now. It's really, it's going to be over 1,000 for sure. With the cabs and whatever, it's yeah. So.
But depending on when you come in, one of the reasons why I wanted to know when people are flying in is because if a bunch of you are flying in similar times, then I can help to arrange for transportation. If each of you is going from, we're a non-for-profit, so it's like, I can't necessarily, I can't get you each your own cabs, but if I could combine, then maybe that's something that we would be willing to pay. So.
Okay.
You,
Okay, amazing.
remind me, you purchased your ticket or not? yet?
I'm purchasing right after this.
Okay, great. Okay, so
Yeah.
keep me posted. Let me know what your flight information is, and then.
Okay,
we'll
amazing.
get
Okay,
your book
amazing.
club.
I'm really excited. It's going to be wonderful.
Bezrat Hashem. Bezrat Hashem. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Okay, wonderful.
Have a good day.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.